Hello, students. Welcome to our unit, Glimpses of Nature. Let's start a new lesson, The Book of Nature by Jawaharlal Nehru. Letters from a Father to His Daughter is a collection of letters written by Jawaharlal Nehru to his 12-year-old daughter Indira in the summer of 1928. At that time, Nehru was in Allahabad and Indira was in Missouri. Nehru used to write letters from time to time to Indira. The Book of Nature is one of those letters. The Book of Nature. When you and I are together, you often ask me questions about many things, and I try to answer them. Now that you are at Missouri and I am in Allahabad, we cannot have these talks. I am therefore going to write to you from time to time short accounts of the story of our earth. I am afraid I can only tell you very little in these letters of mine, but that little I hope will interest you and make you think of the world as a whole and of the peoples in it as our brothers and sisters. When you grow up, you will read about the story of the earth and her peoples in fat books. You will find it more interesting than any other story or novel that you may have read. You read history in books, but in all times when men did not exist, surely no books could have been written. How then can we find out what happened then? We cannot merely sit down and imagine everything. This would be very interesting, for we could imagine anything we wanted to and would thus make up the most beautiful fairy tales. But this need not be true, as it would not be based on any facts that we had seen. But although we have no books written in those far off days, fortunately we have some things which tell us a great deal as well, almost as a book would. We have rocks and mountains and seas and stars and rivers and deserts and fossils of old animals. These and other like things are our books for the earth's early story. And the real way to understand this story is not merely to read about it in other people's books, but to go to the great book of nature itself. You will, I hope, soon begin to learn how to read this story from the rocks and mountains. Imagine how fascinating it is. Every little stone that you see lying on the road or on the mountain side may be a little page in nature's book and may be able to tell you something if you only knew how to read it. To be able to read any language, Hindi or Urdu or English, you have to learn its alphabet. So also you must learn the alphabet of nature before you can read her story in her books of stone and rock. Even now, perhaps you know a little how to read this. If you see a little round, shiny pebble, does it not tell you something? How did it get round and smooth and shiny without any corners or rough edges? If you break a big rock into small bits, each bit is rough and has corners and rough edges. It is not at all like a round, smooth pebble. How then did the pebble become so round and smooth and shiny? It will tell you its story if you have good eyes to see and ears to hear it. It tells you that once upon a time, it may be long ago, it was a bit of rock just like the bit you may break from a big rock or stone with plenty of edges and corners. Probably it rested on some mountainside. Then came the rain and washed it down to the little valley where it found a mountain stream which pushed it on and on till it reached a little river, and the little river took it to the big river, and all the while it rolled at the bottom of the river and its edges were worn away. Thus the rough surface was made smooth and shiny. So it became the pebble that you see. Somehow the river left it behind and you found it. If the river had carried it on, it would have become smaller and smaller till at last it became a grain of sand and joined its brothers at the seaside to make a beautiful beach where little children can play and make castles out of the sand. If a little pebble can tell you so much, how much more could we learn from all the rocks and mountains and the many other things we see around us? Our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, wrote a collection of letters to his 12-year-old daughter Indira in the summer of 1928. At that time, Nehru was in Allahabad and his daughter was in Mussoorie. The Book of Nature is one of those letters from a father to his daughter. Nehru says when Indira is with him, she has the habit of asking so many questions to him. Now they live in different places, so he wants to write from time to time short description of the story of our earth. Even though he is able to include small details of the earth, she will be interested in it. It will make her think of the world as a whole and of other peoples in it as her brothers and sisters. The story of the earth and the people in it will be more interesting than any other novel or storybook. In all times when men did not exist, no books could have been written. In order to tell the story of that age, we have rocks, mountains, seas, stars, rivers, deserts, fossils, etc. They are our books for the earth's early story. The real way to understand the story is to go to the great book of nature itself. Indira will begin to learn how to read the story from the rocks and mountains. It will be interesting and surprising. Each little stone is a little page in nature's book. It can tell us something if we know how to read it. We must learn the alphabet of nature before we can read her story in her books of stones and rocks. After seeing a little round, shiny pebble, some questions will come to our mind. How did it get round and smooth and shiny without any corners or rough edges? If we have good eyes to see and ears to hear it, the pebble will tell us its story. Once upon a time, the pebble was a bit of rock, just like the bit we may break from a big rock or stone with plenty of edges and corners. Probably it rested on some mountainside. Then came the rain and washed it down to the little valley where it found a mountain stream. It pushed it on till it reached a little river, and the little river took it to the big river, and all the while it rolled at the bottom of the river, and its edges were worn away. Thus the rough surface was made smooth and shiny. Thus it became a pebble that we see. The pebble is left behind by the river, and the people find it. If the river has carried it further, it will have become smaller and smaller, till at last it becomes a grain of sand. The sand will be joining its brothers at the seaside to make a beautiful beach where little children can play and make castles out of the sand. The author says, if the pebble has this much of story for us, the mountains, rocks, and many things around us may be having more stories to tell us. In order to listen to the story, we have to lend our ears to the nature. Meanings: fossil, the mineralized remains of an animal or plant. Fascinating, extremely interesting and attractive. Whole, complete, entire. Pebble, a small stone, especially one rounded by the action of water. Alphabet, the set of letters used when writing in a language. Probably, almost certainly. Let's comprehend the rules of while or as. They are joining words that combine two sentences. They show two actions happening at the same time. Example: she was cleaning the kitchen. Amina visited her. While she was cleaning the kitchen, Amina visited her. Adil was waiting for the train. Adil read his book. Adil read his book while he was waiting for the train. They were attending the class. The principal came to the class. As they were attending the class, the principal came to the class.